Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to show you some of the tools that I use for this job here. Uh, these aren't really heavy duty, but for this one tree, it's adequate. But I did have this from the ranch, from my avocado ranch. It's a it's a pole saw, and boy, does it do a great job. I think it's about 12 feet out to the end of it. And then I've already covered, this is your professional picker, and this is a cheaper one that isn't quite as good, but it'll allow me to reach the avocados up higher. So anyway, take a look at that and bear in mind that we just have to question what's going on and experiment. And there's no particular set way to do things necessarily. You kind of improvise, but I think I'm maximizing the output and ease of picking with this tree. That's what I want to accomplish. Now, when I had my ranch, it was very steep. It was yeah, and to bring you up to speed, I got into this. I was a college graduate. I didn't know anything about farming, so I just learned on the job. And I was younger. I could afford to make some mistakes and correct them, and I made a lot of mistakes. But anyway, at the end of the day, it turned out very well. But anyway, I had steep hillsides, and a hillside that the face of the hill was faced the north. And one day I got to looking at it. Now, these trees were planted about 16 feet apart. The rows were about 16 feet apart. And this is a terrible, gosh, I haven't improved since the third grade on my drawing. But anyway, if you get the picture, this was a hillside. This was south. That was north. And one day I was looking at these trees, and I don't know if I've represented this very well, but what I did is not on this last tree, but on these trees in between the rows, I cut the north side. I would trim that off, and I would let it be sort of a half dome. Instead of a full dome on flat ground, I had a half dome on steep ground, and then I would pick from this side. And I just mentioned this 16 feet high max. You might even want to keep them shorter than that. Again, it's all just kind of feel it out, see what other people are doing, research it on the internet, if you're going to go into commercial avocado growing. But anyway, it actually did work out pretty well. You can see you're on the high ground picking the tree, and you've sacrificed this side and allowed the next row down to fill in. And it actually worked out pretty well. I was just something I invented on my own. And and while I'm thinking of it, another little gimmick I had was there was one couple acres I had that there's a cliff down to the road, and I found an 18-inch diameter pipe. It was pretty cheap, and I put several lengths, 20-foot lengths together, and when I picked the fruit, I'd run it down into the pipe, and then it would drop right into the bin that was already loaded on the truck. And that worked out amazingly well. The pickers didn't have to go all the way down and then climb up on the truck and empty the bin. So, just keep thinking. Thank you. This is my ranch in Toro Canyon, and the pipe trick loading directly into the bin.